What's going on, guys? It's Steven from the BS Show, and we gotta talk about this one. On August 22nd, Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie, will be taking on Angela Overkill Hill. And come on, in my opinion, there's no cooler nicknames in the UFC than Overkill. It's just badass. But this is a fun fight, and I cannot wait for it. So let's break it down a little bit. So I'm sure some of you know this, but when the UFC first created the strawweight division, they held a tournament on the Ultimate Fighter, bringing the best strawweights from other organizations to fight it out to crown the champion of that division. And so many well-known fighters that you may know of today came from that season, like Joanne Calderwood, Tisha Torres, Rose Namajunas, and Carla Esparza, who ended up actually winning that season and then losing her belt to Joanna Jacek right after. But who was also on that season is, yep, you probably guessed it, Angela Hill. Now, Angela Hill wasn't really a breakout fighter on that season, but it got her foot in the door to fight in the UFC, and she had a couple ups and downs in the UFC until eventually she found her stride, and she's been looking pretty good lately. In fact, I actually think she won her last fight versus Claudia Gondala. That's just my opinion, but she's looking like an absolute killer now. Her striking's come a long way, and I'm excited to see how she would do against someone like Michelle Waterson. Now, if you're a fight fan, I'm sure you know who Michelle Waterson is because she became a star right when she got in the UFC, and it's obvious why. I mean, she has a fun style, her striking's very fun to watch and sharp, but she's obviously very beautiful and has a great personality. She's just a genuinely sweet person, saying things like she wants to become the first mother to become a UFC champion, and that's just heartwarming when you hear stuff like that. And she almost made it happen too, piling up 3 good wins versus Courtney Casey, Felice Herring, and Carolina Kolkiewicz, until eventually she was met with Joanna Jacek, and we all know how good Joanna Jacek is, and frankly Joanna Jacek just dominated the fight. Now Michelle Waterson finds herself on a 2-fight losing skid. Her last fight was against Carla Esparza, and she also got beat there too. So you already know Michelle Waterson wants to get back into that winning column. Alright, now that we kind of talked about these ladies a little bit, let's go ahead and match them up and talk about their skill sets. And we're going to start off with cage experience. And in my opinion, I think this is a obvious one. Cage experience definitely goes to Michelle Waterson. I mean, she's been there with the who's who in the division and has fought multiple champions in the division. Carla Esparza, Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jacek. So this one's an obvious one. It goes to Michelle Waterson. Alright, now this next topic's a little harder to pick. Let's break down Michelle Waterson's striking. She's a little more technical with her strikes, could do a lot of flashy stuff, but she really hasn't knocked someone out since like Invicta. I don't even think she's knocked anyone out in the UFC yet. Angela Hill, on the other hand, her footwork has gotten so good. Just watching her versus Claudia Gondala, she just knows where to position herself, and she has that oomph and pop behind her punches, and she's learning how to use her timing to get inside the pocket and get out. So I think I gotta go with Angela Hill on the striking. Now I know a lot of people are gonna disagree. That's just what I've been seeing watching these two lately, and it's just my opinion. Alright, and this next topic's pretty obvious too in my opinion, and we're talking about the ground game. Michelle Waterson has underrated ground game in my opinion. I mean, she's not the best in the division, but she's pretty good at scrambling. And on the other hand, Angela Hill, we haven't seen it really in her last 3 fights. Claudia Gondala did a good job at holding her down, and Angela Hill couldn't do much to get back to her feet. So I just got to go with the clear-cut person who I think's better on the ground, and that's Michelle Waterson. But let's go ahead and pick who we think is going to win the fight. And you know what, guys? Everything's telling me to pick Michelle Waterson, but I think I'm going to go with Angela Hill, and here's why. I just feel like she's been getting so much better lately, and she's growing so much, and when she speaks in interviews, you could tell she just has that fire inside of her. She feels like she got shorted and cheated in that Claudia Gondala fight, which I kind of thought she won too. So yeah, I'm going with Angela Hill. I think her striking's tailor-made to beat Michelle Waterson. Anytime anybody pressures Michelle Waterson and makes the fight nasty and gritty, it usually works out in their favor, like a Joanna Jacek or Rose Namajunas. And now Angela Hill, where she used to be overly aggressive and would get tagged up inside the pocket, now she's learning how to move in and out of the pocket safely. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm picking Angela Hill in this one. That's where my brain's kind of going, but I'm not positive on it. I'm like 55-45. So yeah, great matchup. This is probably going to be a close fight. I love it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who you guys going for and why? I mean, like I said, I'm kind of in the middle on this one. I'm leaning slightly towards Angela Hill, but I could definitely be swayed in the comments below if someone just drops some knowledge on me. I'm just a fan of the sport like you. I'm never 100% positive on any fight. In fact, if you meet someone that's 100% positive on a fight, they're probably a fake fan, to be honest, or a casual. But that's it for this one, guys. Until next time, peace.